Hello everyone, John12 back here again with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about a specific type of comic book character that's not specifically Batman, Superman, Captain America, or Spider-Man, or God knows what else I continue to talk about on my channel. But seeing as how not too long ago I made a video talking about the future, the Halloween franchise, and the possible reboot that Weinstein Company have yet to tell us about, I also wanted to talk about another franchise that I personally love, which is, of course, the Crow franchise. Specifically, the Crow comic book, created by James Barr. It's something that I've talked a lot. For those of you who don't know, because I don't want this video to come out like, oh, this is strange. Why is he talking about something that's so unnatural to him, and something that I've yet to hear about, or I don't even know if that's something you would even say, but it's something that. This is a specific project that I've talked about a lot, and I haven't talked about it on my channel, per se, but I've talked a lot about it on the podcast, on Pause channel, and it's something that's really close to my heart. I love the Crow book, specifically James O'Barr's The Crow. I love the first film. The other films in the series aren't as good as the first one, of course, but I like them as well, and seeing as how a reboot / remake has been in the crosshairs for several years now, it's kind of hard to say as to whether or not how enthusiastic I am about it. But last year we got especially seeing as how last time I talked about it, the big news was that Bradley Cooper would play the Crow, and he would be the official Crow, and they did actual, I think, pre-production on that work. I have zero idea as to whether or not they ever did pre-production on that version of The Crow with Bradley Cooper, but I do remember specifically seeing concept art of him as The Crow in that specific project, and it looked really, really strange. It was gothic, which was good, but it was just really weird. I mean, Bradley Cooper as The Crow, that's really strange. Besides that, last year they decided to just restart that project again. They recasted the lead character with Luke Evans, which, of course, for those of you who don't know Luke Evans or what he's done, basically he's the guy from the Musketeers, Immortals, the Raven, Clash of the Titans remake. He's also been featured in the Hobbit series, and of course he's going to be featured in a new Dracula film, which is ironic, seeing as how there's so many Dracula films. But they're doing a new Dracula film, and he's in it, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But he's going to be playing Eric Draven, of course, is the lead character and hero of the Crow series, the comic book series. And I'm a big Crow fan. I love the comic book series. I own the graphic novel version of The Crow. I love it. It's personally one of the best pieces of comic book history. I mean, like, it's definitely indie. It's something that it's not for the widespread of people. It may not appeal to everyone, seeing as how it deals with, obviously, violence, rape, murder, mutilation, just all-out violence, crazy, ghetto, street gang violence. It's crazy, this book. But I personally love it. It's one of my personal faves. And Luke Evans is going to play Eric Draven, and they are working on a new project with James O'Barr supposedly creatively involved with it. And it's something that they're hopefully going to start working on. I've seen some interviews with Luke Evans talking about it, and he said several things about it. And I don't know, it's one of those things that you can't really say, like, oh, I'm so happy for it, because there's little to no, like, actual info on the project, and there's no content on the project. And other than what Luke Evans has said, that's pretty much everything we know. I mean, but overall, I just wanted to give my thoughts on this reboot. Just put it out there just to get other people's opinions on it. And what are your thoughts on the overall reboot of The Crow? If you're a fan of The Crow or the original film Crow, please let me know about your thoughts on this. Luke Evans as Eric Draven. I don't know. It's a strange thing, because when I look at the actor, and it's one of those things that I can't really see him as Eric Draven. And I don't want to say that in the sense that, well, Eric Draven is a character that can only specifically be played by Brandon Lee. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, That's one of main reasons as to why I say that. But I think it has a lot to do with the fact that he's not really. I haven't really seen his work that much, and to me, he doesn't look like a martial arts master. Like Brandon Lee obviously was a humongous, like, martial arts. He was a martial artist. You know, he was obviously the son of Bruce Lee. You know, he knows a lot of. He knew a lot about kung fu and martial arts and jeet kune do and all that other stuff that his father taught him. So of course he was that character physically. It was him, and of course you had the TV version. God, I can't really say his name. Mark Allen DeCoscos, I think that's how you say his last name. He also played Eric Draven in the TV version of The Crow. For those of you who don't know, they did a freaking a TV version of The Crow titled The Crow Stairway to Heaven, which was actually a pretty decent show. I actually liked it a lot. And he played the character of Eric Draven, and he's a martial artist as well. So I kind of feel strange that someone who's going to be playing the character of Eric Draven and not really be a true martial artist. I don't know that much about Luke Evans. I don't really know his whole deal or his history. I don't know. Maybe he does know martial arts. I don't really know. Personally, his look, I guess he has the right look. I don't know which kind of version they're going to go with it. Whether they're going to go like with the movie version or they're going to go with the comic book version. I personally, if they're going to continue with this reboot and they're going to start showing us content, hopefully by the end of this year or later this year, I hope they follow the comic book to a T, because I personally want the reboot to be the complete opposite of the series. And I say that in no disrespect to the series or the original film, but and I'm not trying to say like, oh well, the film didn't follow the book at all. It follows the book as much as it could have back in those days. But now it's like, because of how comic book movies have evolved, you can practically just take the book and literally adapt pages to film so easily. So I personally would like to see that. I personally would like to see a black and white film version of The Crow. I want to see that, and I don't want any type of shy away from the violence, specifically what happens to Eric throughout the books. He gets shot to shit in this book, and I personally want to see every bit of violence and craziness that happens in the book. For those of you who don't know, fucking go out, get a copy of any type of The Crow. Definitely pick it up, because you don't know The Crow until you actually read the source material. The Crow, the movie, is amazing. Brandon Lee's performance is, of course, possibly 95% of why that movie is awesome, but the book is the shit. And I personally think if Luke Evans is gonna fucking look the part of Eric Draven, he's definitely gonna have to work the shit out of his body to look like that. I don't know how he looks now physically, but personally, the style of it, I personally would like a Robert Rodriguez Sin City kind of style, because that kind of fits the weirdness of the black and white comic book. Overall, that's been my thoughts. Luke Evans as Eric Draven, not a big fan of it. Not that I hate him by any means. I mean, like, I definitely think it's definitely a better idea than Bradley Cooper, but overall, fucking Christ, he's not a martial artist, nor does he have the physical the physicality of Eric Draven from the comic books or Brandon Lee. So of course he's definitely gonna have to work his fucking ass off. And I say that specifically to encourage, because if you're gonna look like Eric Draven, you have to look like that. Like, that's what Eric Draven is. He's bone, muscle, and flesh. That's all he is. He has like 0% of fat on him. So if he is gonna be like the standalone like character to play, then he's gonna have to do some kind of weirdo diet to fucking look that way. But overall, the reboot for The Crow, I'm psyched that they're gonna do a reboot of these characters. I personally would like the reboot to follow the book to a T, and definitely have like that Robert Rodriguez Sin City style to it, to make the black and white look a bit interesting, not just a flat out just saturated film, because then that would just be boring. But overall, for the rest of the cast, I really don't know. There isn't really any like news on like who's gonna play the rest of the characters, like Shelly and T-Bird and various other characters like that. So personally, anybody who has updates on that, tell me. I'll definitely be looking up. And also, I start a new segment on my channel called John Twelve's Comic Book Reads, and I'll definitely be doing a review on The Crow, the graphic novel version, and giving you my thoughts on that. And I'll have a link to the description when that officially comes out. But overall, The Crow, the reboot, definitely interested. Luke Evans, I definitely encourage him to do a lot to look like Eric Draven, because personally I hate it when actors just come in off set, like, just to be there and do it. I want him to physically look the part and fucking go all out with this. And hopefully, I hope the visual style is, of course, like the book, and with a fusion of like Frank Miller's Sin City and Robert Rodriguez's Sin City. That's personally what I like to see. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for the Crow reboot? What do you think about Luke Evans playing Eric Draven? And who the hell do you want to be involved in the project? Who do you want to direct, write, and of course be the cast? But that's overall going to be my thoughts on the Crow reboot.